Hey everyone, welcome to an RMA Fire tutorial, and today I'm going to be teaching you two things. First, we're going to be rendering particles in Redshift, and second, I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can control the pscale with Redshift. So let's get on to it. Right now I've got a simple sphere. So this is the sphere is going to be our particles. So this here are going to be our particles. First things first, I'm going to hit P so that I can get my parameters out here. And we are going to tell Redshift that this is an object. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say shelves. And I'm going to do Redshift. Okay, that's already enabled on my end. So when you hit that, you're going to get the Redshift parameters here. So we're going to select this and we're going to say object. That's going to give us the object parameters here. Once we click here, we're going to come onto the particles section and we're going to say render object as particles. And this is going to be our global scale multiplier. So we're going to come into our network and I'm going to show you guys 3 options. These are 3 different ways in which you can control the scale inside of Houdini. So we have a simple sphere, we have a transform, and we have a points from volume. So I'm gonna hit D in here on our display, and I'm gonna tell geometry, and then I'm gonna increase our point size so we can see what we're talking about. So we have points from volume, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna decrease the point separation so we get a bunch more particles, and I'm gonna tell this to jitter and move the scale a little bit. So just for this tutorial, these are going to be the particles that we're going to render. So the first and simplest option for controlling the p-scale on what we're going to render is using an attribute randomize. With an attribute randomize, I am telling Houdini that I want to randomize the p-scale, and this is my my global multiplier, which we also have out here. So it's good practice not to, you don't even have to change this. Okay, and then this is a minimum value and a maximum value. So we're using a hack, we're just using a copy and copying some spheres into the p-scale to see how the size is being controlled. So right now you see this is what we get. So we come into the attribute randomize and we tell Houdini, okay, I want the max value to be 0.6. Boom, it controls it, and then I can increase the min in here, and then of course the multiplier is going to control how much it's going to be multiplied. I can even go as far as 2 even, and we get those huge particle variation. Okay, the second way that I'm going to show you guys, it's using a wrangle. So I'm initializing the p-scale, and then I'm using a p-scale fit 0 1 randomize pt num between 2 and 1. Okay, let's do that again. So I'm gonna bring up my and I'm gonna do float at pscale. And then let's see if I can make this just a bit bigger. So we have float at p-scale, then we have our semicolon, and then we're saying, okay, our p-scale is going to be equal to a fit 0 1 because we want to control the fit range, right? And then we're gonna do rand, and then we're gonna randomize this based on our pt num at pt num based on the number of points. So if you have gone through the particle popnet, you can use based on the seed number or the ID or whatever attribute you want to use, but I want to use the pt num, and then I'm gonna use whatever number that's gonna be my seed, and then I'm gonna close parentheses and tell, okay, so from a point 2 to a 1, I want this randomization to take place, right? So we're gonna copy and paste this right here, and we're gonna see that it takes effect immediately. 0.1. So I'm gonna just do a transform, put it right here, and this transform I'm gonna reduce the scale a little bit, and you can see that's precisely what we're getting, just that this one doesn't have a seed, and this one I added a seed. So with a seed you can offset it. Okay, that's the other way that we're gonna control the scale. And then the third way that we're gonna control the scale is like this. So this is kind of like the coolest way that you can do it. So we're initiating the pscale, and then we're adding the offset, which is giving us a tramp option. What's happening here? Okay, so we have the pscale, and then the offset is giving us the possibility of offsetting the scale on our particles. So we have the float offset, and this has a tramp. So remember, a tramp is basically the option of creating this. It's allowing us to create this. So a tramp based on our scale, and then rand based on the pt num. And then our pscale, we're fitting it between our random and our pt num between 1 and 9. And then we're adding that to the offset. Okay, so when we put this here, we have the ability of this. Okay, so let's create this from scratch. So first things first, we have a float value, and we want the float value to be our pscale, right? Okay, and then we're gonna create our pscale. So we have pscale is equal to fit01, and then I want to randomize it based on what? Based on our pt num. Add pt num and 0.1 and comma pt num. Okay, then close parenthesis 0.1 comma 0.9 close semicolon. So if we put this into a wrangle, we'll have the same solution as we have on the first one, which is that. Okay, so now we want to initialize our offset. So our offset is going to be a float value called offset, and this is going to be equal to tramp, so that we can get our this tramp, and then we want to name this whatever we want. So this is gonna be our sexy scale. Okay, and that's going to allow us to initialize that, and then we're gonna tell it randomize it based on our pt num, and we're gonna give it a seed of whatever we want, semicolon, and now we have our offset. But we wanna, Houdini doesn't know what sexy scale is until we add that to our pscale. Okay, plus equals our offset, boom, copy that, paste it here, enter, and then we want to select this so that the sexy scale is initialized, boom, and then if we hit this, we're gonna see the control that we have. Okay, so we've got some sexy scale going. Now let's render this. So I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna come here into my object, my out, I'm gonna type Redshift, and this is gonna give me my output ROP and my IPR. So for you, those of you who don't know what the IPR is, the IPR is going to be what we reference here, IPR. Okay, so let's come here and let's say Redshift I want to have motion blur and allow mesh deformation and enable instance particle blur so that we can get the particle blur based on the velocity. But we actually don't have velocity on them right now. But this is just an introduction so that we know how to render them. So we want to select here, we have this enabled as particles. We want to come here, we want to use the sexy scale, and we want to make sure that we are on a camera. So we're going to create a camera. And we want to come here, select camera, lock that camera, pull out a little bit. And we are going to come here because this is just for visualization so that we can see the scale of the particles. So we're gonna select this, split top and bottom, come here and let's do render view, and we're gonna select the camera and the output drop, and we're good to go. We hit render. Okay, so two things. We need an RS dome. Shader, let's add an HDR. Okay, so the reason why we're not seeing that is because we have to render object as particles and ignore scale attributes. Okay, so my particles were just too big. Okay, so we don't want to say ignore scale from attributes. We just want to reduce the scale so that to the point where our global scale here is at a regular value, and then now we should be able to control them here. There we go. Okay, and then we also want to make sure that we enable the render, sampling, and then add the velocity blur. Of course, there's no velocity blur because we're not using a trail to compute the velocity, or they're not coming out of a pop solver with the velocity attributes. So here, the control would be different. Say we do like a 3, boom, now it's working as well. And then right here, the randomize scale, bringing this up to a 1, and then we can, I'll show you, if we move this, we'll get that as well. And then it's pretty fast. See, you can fly onto it, and you can add this to any scene. It's really intuitive and super fast. Okay, So this has been an introduction to rendering particles inside of Redshift. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll be back with more.